5, and they've chosen to do so on Battlefield of Eternity.
All right, I think it's our first BOE game of the day. The A-Team chose the location of the battle. Let's see if they've got something prepared here. Now, I'm not sure if the A-Team is going to pick Irel again, and that could potentially open the hero up for the one. Give it a shot.
It could. Is it worth the try, though? I think they can give it a go. They're going to let it go to the one. So let's find out. Can the one play Yrel? Do they care? No. They give it over.
To be honest, Tetcher, I think this is the only battleground in which I would basically see the Hanzo pick justified, though. BOE, a heavy PvE map, and Hanzo still delivers so much damage in that regard. Outstanding poke as well. Good vision if you want to engage and defend. So I think it's fine to give Irel up on this very map.
This is actually a map where I wouldn't pick Yrel, honestly. Like, she gives a little bit of zoning potential, maybe not people into the stuns, but her race potential is just absolutely rubbish until you reach League.
It's pretty abysmal, and also keep in mind that on BOE, unlike on Brax's Holdout, for example, the laning phase here is relatively limited, right? Especially when the Immortals descend for the first time. You're basically going to have to give up soul laning anyways, unless you are keen on losing Immortals, which I don't think anyone is.
No one likes losing Immortals. So, completely agreed. So, let's see how they do, how they're able to do this. We have the A-Team. Are they going to pick the Yrel again? Are they going to take that risk of missing out on the race? Jaina, Diablo setting up for a Phoenix comp without actually picking the Phoenix.
Now, I know it's China and all, but why would you prioritize the Jaina so highly here on BOE? I don't understand. There would have been other heroes maybe, like the Yrel, for example, if you really wanted to go that route. But especially in terms of PvE damage, I think heroes like, let's say, Lunara, for example, although China never plays Lunara, could have been high. Maybe a Decker Kane. Decker Kane on this map is so wonderful. You could have actually secured it right here. Luckily for the A-Team, the one prefers to go with Malfurion this time anyways.
Malfurion and Muradin, very tanky, very safe, very standard is how I would describe that. There's nothing immediately jumping out as this is super special as of yet.
Yeah. By the way, oh man, I would have loved to see another Arthas and combine it with Phoenix. Permanent slows for the Purification Salvo. That would have been amazing.
That would have been interesting. I'm quite surprised we haven't seen that combo yet. I guess because Arthur's just been out of the meta so long.
Yeah. All right. I'm pretty sure the one is going to ban the Deckard now, unless they have more information than we do and A-Team never plays it. So let's see. Malfurion's win rate, by the way, is only, quote-unquote, sitting at 56.2%. But keep in mind, guys, that he's had an insanely high participation rate. So the sample size is pretty high, and for him to get a 57 point something win rate is pretty astounding, actually.
That is fair. There goes the Phoenix. Very sensible ban, considering. So now, Diablo Jaina on the board. What else could you get that could you get value off this? Anyone who gains advantage from slows, so Lunara with unfair advantage.
Yeah, we keep mentioning Lunara, and it's actually mind-boggling that she sees no play in China whatsoever. It's just...
She's sort of at the meta. She's sort of in it. She's skirting the outskirts of the. I mean, more slows. Just give it to me, please. I like Lunara. She's one of my favorite assassins. Just give it to me.
Then of
Tag
course you
me in, coach.
Like you run into this little issue here with Lunara. I could maybe see that Tranquility counters you pretty hard on the Malfurion. So AoE healing is in generally very good against her, and they go for the Decker Kane. So well played by them on that part. They secure themselves probably one of the best, if not the best, sustained support right now, especially in BoE. I feel like he's super valuable. I could even see a Lornado maybe coming in and just blocking ways around the Immortal. There's a lot of choke points.
It's not the best map for Lornado, but it's not the worst either. So I can maybe see that. I wouldn't hate it. But the sleep into, well, everything else might also just be super good.
Yeah.
So the one. What do you have to show us here? Another assassin, solo laner required. Solo laner's probably going to be Thrall unless we're being bamboozled, which it's completely possible that we are.
I mean, we've seen one Crash Lightning build today already, and it did work.
And we are going to see Sonya, nice and safe, just goes straight for the solo lane.
I like
And
it.
Ming, great poke potential.
Wait a
Very
minute, Tetra.
Very unremarkable by the one.
Is that going to be a Meng Li Ming? Because I
Li
think
Meng?
Li Meng. Is that going to be Li Meng?
Possibly.
I want it to happen because I think Muggle is more of their Hanzo player right now. I can't remember seeing Meng on the Hanzo for the last time. So yeah, and him playing actually much more mage as of late. We've seen him on Jaina a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think that would make sense. I can't. Yeah, it's gonna be Meng unless they swap.
Nice.
Sweet.
And we're seeing a Greymane as the final pick for the A-Team. Gives them a little bit of race potential. I guess Executioner works with slows, right? I'm not being silly.
Sorry, say that again.
Executioner works with slows, right? I'm not being silly.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's viable. That's feasible.
Yeah, absolutely true. I think Jaina and Greymane, for that very reason, are a great couple. Could actually be a couple in real life in the lore if you think about it. Both are alliance, both are single, to the best of my knowledge. So maybe we can hook them up. What would be your Warcraft dream couple? Your match made in heaven?
You
could be the wedding planner for any Warcraft characters.
Planner for any two characters. I mean, Chromie and Gelvin.
Who the heck is Gelvin?
Gelvin Mekator.
Oh, Gelvin! Okay. Oh my goodness, you know that Chromie's a dragon though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And
I mean, love knows no bounds and races. So.
Love knows no boundaries, and love knows no time or technological boundaries.
There we go.
It was literally the first two heroes that came to my mind. Someone just came in with Anduin and Garrosh, and I love it even more, so I'm just changing to that as we head into game number 2. It's Crash Lightning again, but either way, on the left-hand side, 1-0 up, it's the one, with Hugo on Sonya, Muggle on Hanzo, Meng on Li Ming, Hehe on Muradin, and ZJZ playing the Malfurion.
Facing them once more, currently down 0-1, is the A-Team, with Jaina on, surprise, surprise, Jaina, Olele on the Greymane, Thralls being played by Bruiser, Stukov on the Decker Kane, and Uncle G once again on this Diablo. Man, I don't even remember seeing Uncle G on any other tank than Diablo.
He does seem to have a favorite, yes.
Yeah, he keeps trying. So far, it didn't really give them that many victories, but maybe they can tie it out. Maybe they can turn it around. And by the way, Tetcher, looky, it is another Crash Lightning Thrall. And
another Soul Shield Diablo as well. So lots of themes being repeated over today. But yeah, like we said, another Crash Lightning, and that's why Thrall is in what should be the 4-man lane. But guess what baited? Li Ming and Muradin starting the game up in top lane to put up some pressure onto Greymane, and they might as well just stay up there, other than the fact that this lane might just lose and die.
And this is very smart if you think about it. Like, if you reduce the number of heroes in the lane against stacking heroes, like let's say Chromie, for example, it's a good example. Crash Lightning Thrall, then there's less heroes they can stack from, right? Makes sense. So they're basically splitting this up 2-2 with Muradin rotating somewhere in the middle. And as long as Li Ming and Malfurion keep the bottom lane clear of minions, they should actually be fine. Maybe they can even find a kill here in the top lane with the bottom tower there, the lower tower. Dangerously low, and Meng gets it right there.
So far, just a little bit of a slow start to the game, other than all of these rotations, which are resulting in very little, unfortunately. Olele, hovering around the area, doesn't want to get himself caught out. Stukov arrives on that Decker Kane to throw out some hydration. As Jaina getting zoned away by Hehe, though. How hard are they willing to go on this? They're not. They're going to let the camp be taken. Meantime, though, it's a mirror in the bot lane with that camp being taken as well. Bravo going to get some stacks out of it as Hehe eats some damage, but will survive.
Muradin didn't have a jump left, so this time I actually agree with Uncle G's decision on engaging on the enemy warrior, which is something he has been doing multiple times in game number 1. Didn't really work out, but this time, you know, when you count the cooldowns and you call to your team, Dwarf tosses out, let's go, it might have actually just worked out just fine. Now, let's see what the one is trying to do here. They're trying to flank and harass them from multiple angles. He needs to be very careful. One more Diablo combo, he could have been a goner. So, strong early rotations actually, Tetra. I like this, what the A-Team is doing.
Yeah, they're doing all right for the moment. They are even on experience for the moment. And Bruiser, there's still 2 people down here. He only needs to bounce to 1 other person to gain a stack. If he bounces to more, he gains no extra stacks. So 2 is all he needs here. Maverian, though, not being hit this time, he's just used to get lucky.
Yeah, it's always like playing a gamble, right? You just drop in that one chain lightning and bless to the
like
RNG and hope for the best.
What's that game? Pachinko. That's the one. It's like one of those machines.
All right, so 10 seconds until the Immortals descend. Let's see, both Fallen Shaman camps are taken at the exact same time. So there's going to be a little bit of sieging pressure in both lanes respectively. Looks like Bruiser and Diablo want to actually take care of it. Nope, they're actually heading to the Blue Immortal. So who's got the better racing potential? Easily answered, the team with Hanzo.
Yeah, Team of Hanzo, which also apparently has a Sonya and a Li Ming on it, so it's gonna have a pretty good time here, as the first part is in fact won by the one who fought it. As Hanzo lands a shot and then immediately leaps away, because Uncle G, even to a Hanzo with that mobility, is still pretty scary.
Definitely want to make sure that you don't get caught, and alike Meng's positioning, by the way, here on Li Ming, staying behind that wall, so he's a much harder target to hit. Hugo, though, he's showing no signs of fear, going right in there, and where's Muradin? He's in the backline now.
Bruiser doing his best impression of the role from the actual games and disappearing for a while to soak and gain some knowledge/experience, and then arriving a little bit late. As such, the Immortal goes over to the one with a pretty decent shield.
All right, so here goes the Immortal. That's actually an astoundingly strong and powerful Immortal for the first one. He is still trying to maybe force a little duel here between himself and Olele, but Olele is having none of it. Thrall going back to the soul lane right now. It's actually fine for him, although he has Crash Lightning. I think the damage that a Greymane provides against an Immortal is much more reliable and is also higher against a single target, so I agree with this lane swap here by A-TEAM.
I would agree. A little bit of damage onto Uncle G. Sustaining through, eats an orb, never mind. He is still alive though, which is the important part here. Olele being forced back to back up as well. Great use of the poke potential, really denying the fact that once again Decker doesn't have AoE healing. So they have to just work with what they get. Olele finally picks up the bottle. And the Immortal will go down, but that forward is now paper mache and will be able to be taken down at any point.
The thing is, with the help of Hanzo's long-range poke and Li Ming's orbs and magic missiles, I think they should have enough damage to actually take it down. Here goes the Storm Bolt, the Storm Arrow, sorry. Here goes the auto attack, and down is the keep. However, Malfurion now in trouble, in a lot of trouble. He got CC'd out of his mind, and there he goes.
Out of his mind, out of his body, out of his life. He gets taken down, but the counter kills. See ya, Greymane, Hee with the slows as well. Jaina will survive, but only... Never mind, that leap by Muggle might be able to pick them up the kill. They go for Uncle G at minimum. Now here's the reset, Meng. Second blink. Although not enough for the kill.
Good try, but the mana bar being his own worst enemy there. That's actually what usually stops Li Ming in the middle of combat when they drop.
Oh, I have all my cooldowns back and no possible way to use them. How wonderful!
But anyways, a good showing here by the one. Not only were they able to get a fort, but also 2 kills secured. Now, it's not like the A-Team has lost the game here by any means. They're actually still in a comfortable spot here, level 8 to level 8, but they need to find those kills. I think that is probably the one main thing they struggle in the most here. Uncle G trying to make those plays happen every single time, but for some weird reason, doesn't really seem to be able to find the target. Now, Malfurion is a good target, though. Here we go.
He goes down. He also being forced to back up due to the fact Malfurion is down. He needs to self-sustain with his own trait. He will survive, at least for the moment. Jaina on her way to the bot lane. She will be able to clear out that mercenary camp with a little bit of time. But overall, this is looking like it's going a little bit rough in terms of laning for the A-Team, but they're still able to pick up big burst kills with this composition.
Yeah, and right now, I think the one they realize, you know what, Malfurion still needs a little bit of time until he's back with us here, reunited. Look at that stun into the Immortal stun chain. Hugo, though, is now basically free to spin to win. Malfurion's healing there coming in as well. He needs to be careful. Look at Li Ming, by the way. Meng always bombarding the enemy Immortal with cheeky spells from the side, from a hidden angle. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's
50%.
getting the halfway point. Very risky starting this now. They will be able to clear it pretty quick, but it's still
Yep.
going to slow down their rotation a little bit. So instead, it's very lucky for them that they start in the defensive position. So that is perfect for them.
And you can see the differences, right, in terms of reading the map as well between those two teams. The one, they immediately realized, you know what? The Immortal is going to spawn in a safe location for us. Let's immediately try to start this Fallen Shaman camp because it'll distract Thrall in the bottom. Greymane is already in the top lane. It wouldn't even surprise me if we saw them commit a little more to poking down the Immortal. That's exactly what they're going to do now. Hugo pressuring Jaina on the Jaina a little bit there, trying to finish off the Immortal, but level 10 actually coming a little quicker for the A-Team.
They do. They get that thanks to, once again, Thrall being off split soaking. Sundering APOC. That's a combo I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, that means a lot of stuns available. Now they just need to make sure that these two heroic abilities don't interfere with one another.
Sonya's just going to get the Immortal because everyone has left the enemy, the A-Team Immortal. So as such, he's just going to be able to grab that on his own. Here comes the sleep. APOC's pretty reasonable. Immortal is taken, like we said, by Sonya, who's making her way back to the team. And Diablo taken out. Hugo has found Jada from behind. Whirlwind. Is it enough? The Water Elemental slow denies the kill.
Look at Meng, he's trying to find this opening for the resets, but he's also running dangerously low on mana. Unfortunately, Decker Kane can't help him in that regard because he's on the enemy team. Now we see a counter kill by Olele. Not too bad for the A-Team.
Yeah, that backfired pretty badly. The one trying to turn that round, instead we end up with Sonya trying to kill someone and getting completely shut down.
Yeah. So here we see the replay, right? Sonya finished off the enemy Immortal on the right-hand side. And already, unfortunately for Meng, he dropped so low on mana and missed a couple of abilities there. You saw both his W and his Q whiff completely. And now, even if he gets the reset there, he can't really go ham again because his mana doesn't allow it. And then all the members health bars, for the one are quite low. And that is the chance for Olele on the Greymane to go in and get that kill that he was looking for. He took Wisdom Duelist, by the way.
He did indeed. With that, he survives. He gets his damage output onto the Immortal, which is cleaned up with the greatest of ease. And that's such the A-Team. They're not bad. They lost both forts, but overall, XP-wise, they're still currently ahead.
You know what happened to me the other day in a Team League game, Tetcher?
What did happen to you the other day?
I ended up facing a Greymane on the enemy team, mind you, unfortunately, with 28 Wisdom Duelist stacks.
Ooh, that's several.
That was quite a bit. I was playing a tank there, and I thought I could actually, you know, duel him a little bit and buy time for my team to group up with me, and he finished me off in 4 attacks. That felt very unsatisfying.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And you just gave him more stacks. Hooray!
Yeah.
By the way, he has a cap, doesn't he? Never mind.
Hooray for stacks.
Hooray for stacks. Stacks #1 priority. Closely followed by globes. If you have a globe stack, now you're talking. As we see Uncle G moving down, fronting the bot lane, as such forcing Hugo away, who saw the rotation thanks to his minion wave, and decides, yay, I don't want this, and decides to leave.
All right, level 12 to double 12 it is, and for some reason, despite losing every single Immortal up to this point, the A-Team is maintaining a healthy experience lead, and that is mostly because of their clever soaking, right? They had Thrall, they had Greymane, always in those side lanes when the one was focusing more on getting the objective. But that being said, of course, in terms of structures and the progress overall in that regard, the one is still ahead by a landslide.
So then, with Thrall respawning, ready to remake his way over to the team. So Hugo, once again, gets a bit of a head start onto the A-Team Immortal. Greymane would like to do the same, but he's a bit afraid of Hee-Hee.
Speaking of Hee-Hee, he slows down the advance of Diablo and Uncle G. And this time, the one, they're taking this a little more slowly. Keep in mind that Hanzo's nowhere near to be found. He was busy soaking and dealing with a wave from the bottom, so they would get that 13 and fight on even towns. And Uncle G is not going to ask twice for this chance. The Sunring comes in, but it's not enough to lock them down. One heroic ability used, and that could be a big blow to the A-Team.
Jaina trying to be careful where she stands so that she does not get caught out. A bit of immortal health is burned through as Hee-Hee dives deep, and Thrall is removed from the board as Lee Mig in exchange, though, taken out. With the great arrow, Dragon Arrow, though, that's going to be a deletion as Stukov is also in trouble trying to dive and weave his way to freedom as Triangle gives him a bit of an escape route, but Hee-Hee is tanking through. The CC is good, and they're even going to pick up Jaina. Malfurion with the auto attacks to finish off Jaina. Diablo the only one alive, and that is a 4-for-1, maybe a 5-for-1. I don't know if Diablo revived with souls.
Yeah, let me tell you the story of Malfurion and his feared auto attacks. Feels amazing, but here goes Meng, but the counter kill set up by Stukov and executed by Olele on the Greymane in the blink of an eye, basically. Great decision making by A-Team. Unfortunately, it all went south for them here. The team is getting completely split into two pieces here. Stukov trying to escape on the Decker Kane there in the bottom half, while ZJZ and Hugo continue their nasty business in the upper half. And as a result, they were able to get a 4-man kill. But they also play this to maximum efficiency here. Beautifully done. They get the mercenary camp just quickly and shortly before the Immortal gets summoned.
So camp for bots. Immortal with reinforcements as they were able to grab their mid fountain for mid. This is why we would sometimes see Melody C repeatedly kill that mid fountain to prevent exactly this kind of thing happening. As we see them move into the lane, looking to try and get their first keep of the game, and maybe to buy some time for that Fallen Shaman camp to do some work in the bot lane.
Uncle G needs to be very careful on how he positions himself here. One Dragon's Arrow could be the end, but he goes in for the Li Ming. He gets her. That is a beautiful pickup for the A-Team.
Muradin went in 1v4 and just thought he could tank. Turns out he can't, and Li Ming died in the backline as well. Great defense by the A-Team using incredible blow-up potential. And now they begin burning through this Immortal. They will absolutely save their keep with this.
And I thought Diablo had to be the one who's supposed to be careful, but it looks like actually it was the ones, Li Ming and Muradin, who needed to pay a little more attention, but they make the best out of that situation. Look how fast they rotate from top all the way to bottom, taking out 2 more towers, because guess what? The Fallen Shaman camp did a lot of work. The minions MVP award goes to those minions right there for dismounting both the Stukov and Uncle G, of course.
Hugo also escapes. He scouts that Bruiser is here. Everyone else is on the way. They might even try and go in early. Yep. They are. They're going to move in with their 16 advantage and try and get some kills. Nice route onto Sonya, but she does not care. Wrath of the Berserker reducing the crowd control. But they can't catch him. They're just going to let this happen, back up, grab the Merc camp, and they're pretty happy with that.
And although they lost 2 members earlier, the one that is, they still managed to get that 16 before their opponents, right? Thanks to all those towers they demolished, both in the bottom and in the top lane. So they could still decide to go for a fight against Bruiser on Thrall, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do.
Sleep into Dragon Arrow, so fight on pause for a second, but the retreat coming out. Bruiser escapes, Uncle G escapes, but Water Elemental is used and burned through by the Impalers.
That it is. It's a relatively long, short cooldown though, so Jaina won't be too sad and upset about it. But look at that, 27 seconds until yet another Immortal ends up spawning in the one. They're gearing up, they're preparing the trap already for their opponents, but they need the vision. And with that Hanzo Sonic Arrow, they basically give their position away, so I don't think A-Team is going to be foolish enough to walk into it still.
Yeah, and they're just going to play in a much safer position away from the bush that they believe Muradin to be in. They did ping it. Now they know Muradin is here.
Yeah.
Beckett gives a little bit of extra attack damage to the rest of his team with his now activatable trait as the race begins.
Muradin's still far away. Uncle G needs to be careful. He's trying to lock down Meng on the Li Ming once again. Can't really succeed in doing so this time around. Takes a lot of poke damage in return, actually, from Meng. And Hugo, he's relentless. He keeps hammering on that red Immortal. Now, the one is grouped up again, which is very nice. I'm not sure if Thrall is fully stacked in the Crash Lightning, by the way, but regardless... Oh, never mind. He didn't even go Thunderstorm at level 16. I don't agree with this decision.
That is...
He went for the Alpha Wolf, which is percentage damage on the rooted target, which could be good against Muradin, true, but you give up on so much AoE damage in return.
Yes, I'm not sure if I agree on that. I mean, I guess it's safer, like you said, it's more burst, it gives you a better chance to kill whoever Diablo engages. Instant interrupt on the sleep. Stukov in serious trouble, gets deleted by Li Ming. Show the fight! What? Thank you. We're back. Olele able to pick up a kill as he goes down. As Li Ming is also deleted. It's a 3 for 2. As Uncle G is also going to go down, make it a 4 for 2. And Jaina, the only survivor. Diablo will be back soon, though. Jaina goes for the turnaround. Huge burst. Ice block delay. Shot comes out. Not enough for the kill.
All right, we missed a little bit of the action there in the team fight, but the outcome is clear and visible to us, guys. It was a 2 for 4 trade. And if TheOne is smart about this, they should leave this Immortal at a little bit of health so they can wait for the respawns. Never mind, Uncle G has had enough. He takes down Hanzo, and now all of a sudden he buys a lot of time for the A-Team to respawn, and he basically forces them to finish this Immortal right here, right now. Or are they going to wait for it? Are they going to leave it? They're going to leave it. Yeah, they
Good.
Okay.
That's sensible. Wait for their own team.
Oh, okay.
Finally does it, just because he needs the time. Diablo fully stacked on his Q quest. There's no longer this percentage damage, of course, but it's still pretty useful.
It's still pretty hefty damage, as you can see there. If you hit a squishy like Hanzo, you can still pretty much spill disaster for him. So let's see they can do here. The Immortal is up and ready, and there's still one man down. No level 20 guys, so no play of the game global shenanigans with the Hanzo. He's gonna have to use his mount and his feet to get back on track. Hugo is playing a dangerous game, so is Hehe. They're trying to blow up Uncle G, and they do so! Li Meng is popping up.
She gets the pick up here, and as such, this defense is going to be much more difficult. That demon gets hit by a dragon arrow as Bruiser forced to back up. The sleep is good. In comes the lightning and the huge burst onto Hugo, who's trying to whirlwind to freedom in the meantime. Olele picks up one. They get two. He keeps going, looking for a third. The Immortal goes through the keep, but they get 3 whole kills. Well done, the A-Team.
Tetcher, I'm starting to get terrible memories, terrifying memories of my Team League game as Olele keeps getting stack after stack after stack on that Wizened Duelist. It would actually be nice to see how many stacks he accumulated up to this point. But as it is, it's a constant back and forth like two drunk boxers just exchanging blows left and right, no guards up anymore. I don't know who's going to take it. Although A-Team lost the top keep, I still think with 1, 2, 3 good team fights in a row, they can basically bounce back.
They can do it. All they have to do is to get to 20, and they have time. 25 seconds until Muradin is up. That's a lot of time to soak. I would really like to see them send someone top. Dragon Arrow completely whiffs. They get a good double stun, but the turnaround sleep is just too good. In the meantime, Olele is just completely ignored in the backline. He completely dodges Meg as well. Nice outplay there.
Yeah, I think Hehe, as much as he likes to go for these aggressive plays, now look at how much damage he's actually going to take from all that burst damage between Thrall, Jaina, and Greymane. As aggressive as he likes to be, and as good as he is playing this style, I think he now has to look for the backline a little more. He's the only one who can deal effectively with the Greymane, right? He can slow his attack speed down, he can stun him, because I feel like Li Meng and Hanzo in particular are under a lot of pressure from Olele, who's playing out of his mind in this game right now.
He really is. This is his best game. I usually consider him to be potentially a bit of a weak link, but this is definitely his best game I've seen him on. But speaking of pressure, that top lane, with a keep down, it's always under pressure now. This is a big map when it comes to catapults. He is low. Dragon Arrow hits 2 members. Jaina in danger. The sleep is interrupted as Jaina goes down. Muradin also able to survive all of this as Uncle G forced to pull all the way back.
He's not done yet. He's back to full HP thanks to Stone Skin and all the other good stuff that he has available in order to keep himself safe and sound. And that was so well baited as well by Hehe. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but he used his hardened skin when he was about at 35% health, and he basically came back from there. Baited so many cooldowns, so much engagement by the A-Team, and all of a sudden it's now another massive Immortal. I'm not sure, Tetcher, how many Immortals A-Team can survive.
I don't think many, maybe not even this one. 10 stacks on Wizened Duelist, 17 on Crash Lightning. It's not many. As they begin to move in, Uncle G puts on the pressure for potentially the last time as Bruiser drops as much damage as he can. Hugo in danger of whirlwinding, but he's level 20. He's got all of that protection. Deckard has been taken out. Jade has only just respawned. Uncle G drops anything he can to try and recover. Olele can't carry this alone. He goes down. Only Jaina and Bruiser left. Jaina waits to see if anyone chases down Bruiser for a quick blow up. But that is 3 kills. Not enough souls for Diablo. And that is going to be a 3 versus 5 and immortal defense that the A-Team are going to have to pull off.
And at the very latest, right now, Olele on the Greymane lost all of his Wizened Duelist stacks because he ended up falling there as well. I like what the A-Team was trying to do there. Jaina and Bruiser, they're trying desperately to get that 1 kill. Can the Water Elemental actually catch up? I think it could. And at least Li Meng goes down, but the bad news is Jaina died in the process there as well. Bruiser might end up falling there too, but it doesn't matter. I think they realized this Immortal man.
gonna be pretty
100%
close.
shields, 100% health is going to wreck us hard anyways.
I mean, 7 seconds for Deckard. No, he can't really defend that.
For the Alliance!
That was one short of getting a Frost Wolf. That was really close. Nicely played, Muradin. As we see the core being delayed, thanks to some assistance from a tower. In comes Deckard, trying to delay Uncle G back as well, but the damage is just not there. Greymane's back, but now the Immortals on the core. Beautiful Dragon Arrow for good points as well. And that's going to be GG as the One takes game number 2, the full 3 points, and they move themselves up the table.
All right, the One take it 2-0, but especially in game number 2, Tetra, I'm pretty sure they didn't think it would be that much hard work for them to put in, because the A-Team, they refused to die. They refused to go down without at least putting up a little bit of a fight. So kudos to them. I think they improved greatly compared to game number 1. The bad news is yet another game lost for them. And if RPG ends up getting a point or 2 or 3 maybe today, then they're going to be in some serious trouble, A-Team that is.
They really are. And someone else who might now be in trouble is SPT. With that win, the One are now 1 point ahead of SPT. SPT need a 2-0 to hold on to first place now.
That is very true. Of course, SPT has yet to play. The One, the One, they had 2 series today. And SPT is going to have to face CE. Not an easy target, not an easy enemy to overcome, despite the shaky performance they're currently in, the shaky shape they're currently in. But yeah, Tetra, man, what do you have to say about the One? It's, for me, they are the hardest team to read right now in terms of their actual power level. Not looking good against BTG, looking okay against A-Team. I expect a little more.
Issue. I was about to say, here's my issue. That shouldn't have been that close. If you look at the independent skill levels that these teams have shown, this should have been a much easier win for the One. The A-Team performed very well. They actually got a little synergy. This is some of the most synergistic they've looked.
Right.
But there is no way that should have happened. That should have not been anywhere near that close. That should have been the One from start to finish.
I think so as well. And we saw a couple of sloppy plays by players that we normally consider to be at the tippity top of the table in the region, right? Meng, for example, not only did he have a wonky game on the Phoenix earlier, but his Li Ming was okay. You know, he ended up dying quite a lot, though. And I think that mostly hails